The queens enter the workroom, once again congratulating Libby on winning the first challenge and Ghastly on surviving the first lip sync. Libby tells them that there's plenty more where that came from, and that the girls better be ready for a clean sweep. Meanwhile, Ghastly is just glad that Tammy has left the workroom, and that the season's going to be much calmer without her, to which everyone agrees.
It's a new day in the workroom, and after last week, I'm feeling really happy in this environment. I've made a new friend in Sam, and after spending the night chatting with her, it turns out that we really have a lot more in common than we thought. I'm sure that Alex won't mind if I make this next little announcement here, seeing as she's been busy touring with La Cienega for the past few months or so.
Once all of the reflection on the first week has ended, Sam and Taurus make an announcement to the girls, saying that they've officially become drag sisters. Most of the other queens congratulate them on their newfound drag sisterhood, but Yasmin is still disgruntled after their distracting conversations the previous week, rolling her eyes. Dejanay notices this, and tells Yasmin that she could at least pretend to be happy for them, which causes Yasmin's face to grow red with embarrassment.
Girl, I thought I was a rotted queen, but Yasmin's stink eye can be seen from a mile away. I'm glad that she got called out, though there's a difference between some good light-hearted shade and being a salty bitch. For someone who calls herself Pretty Princess, she might as well just ditch the R and call herself a Petty Princess, because my god, she's holding such a bad grudge and it's barely even been a week.
While Yasmin tries to calm herself down, the TV goes off, and the queens surround it, wondering what their next challenge could possibly be. Here's the sitch, queens. It's time to see which one of you is a true diva, and which one of you will be running scared out of the workroom this week. Be sure to show us your star power every way that you can. Toontown, 12 points. Toontown, douze points.
What was that she said at the end? I don't understand French at all.
It sounded like Kim didn't either. She was definitely reading off of some cue cards there. You could see the way her eyes were moving.
Hi.
Oh God, please tell me she didn't hear that.
It's great to start another week here, but I'm confused over what Kim was saying. It sounded like a lot of references that went right over my head, like she was talking about something I haven't heard of before. I must have been out of class on that history lesson, but I'm not gonna let that squander this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
My enchanting 11, it's time to warm yourselves up for this week. For this week's mini challenge, you'll all get into quick drag and dance off to the hit song by our panelist, Ron Stoppable, the Naked Mole Rap. All of you better bring it and show us what you're working with.
I was kind of a mess in my quick drag, but maybe I could pass it off and say that I was giving Rufus realness during my performance. It could be pretty believable if she asks, unless she just thinks I'm trying to pull a fast one on her. Would that be too much?
Queens, you were all great at showing us what you could work with, but I think two of you danced circles around the other girls. Flannery and Dr. Ghastly, you're the winners of this week's mini challenge.
This is a very pleasant surprise after last week's lip sync. I know I'm not the best performer in the world, but I want to give Kim a reason why she casted me on this season. I'm ready to give it my all, no matter what it is, and I can't risk faltering yet again.
For this week's Maxi challenge, we're taking inspiration from one of the biggest annual television events in the world. That's right, we're doing our own spin on the Eurovision Song Contest this week, in the brand new Rusical, Toonovision. Flannery and Ghastly, as the winners of the mini challenge, you'll have the rights to assign the roles to the other queens, and get to shape up how this week could go for your competition. Remember, ladies, not every role is created equal. On the runway, category is, fly your freak flag. Good luck, and don't fuck it up. Flannery and Ghastly quickly go through the roles with the other girls, and while Ghastly wants to assign the roles to further her own chances of winning, Flannery wants to be a bit more fair and assign roles based on how the girls could play to their strengths. Eventually, the two come to a compromise, picking their own roles and then alternating between choosing roles for the rest of the queens. Eventually, the two of them come up with a cast list, and place it in the middle of a table in the workroom for the other queens to see.
Ghastly's trying to play a little dirty here, but I know that's not what I came here for. I don't want to give someone a bad role and have them acting like a crybaby all day because of it, but I think we reached a compromise where we can both be satisfied with our roles and what we've given the other queens. I admit that I may have been a bit biased towards my girls Celebi and Reggie, but it'll be up to them to make it work for themselves.
Okay girls, here's the cast list. See who you're playing, grab a script, and let's get started.
As the queens get to work, the solo performers, Sam, Celebi, and Libby, all practice their lines and performances together. Sam is trying her best to make it through her song, but the other girls realize that she's off-key, which could spell disaster for her performance. Celebi laughs a bit and tells Sam not to release any music after the season ends, which causes Sam to begin worrying some more about how she'll pull off her role on the main stage. Libby glares at Celebi, telling her that this isn't the time for shady mind games, pulling Sam aside to work with her without Celebi.
Alright, here's my big secret, I can't really sing. I know, it's not much of an issue when you usually lip sync, but for things like this, it can be a major disadvantage. I'm not going to run and hide from my problems, though. I'm just going to have to give it my all on that main stage, and if I do well, I do well. It's not like I can fit 20 years of singing lessons into a single afternoon of work, right?
In another part of the workroom, the girl group, Clarabelle, Taurus, and Dejanay, are all working on their number together. Dejanay continuously asks Clarabelle for pointers, trying to imitate her moves exactly, which slightly upsets Clarabelle, telling Dejanay that they're all supposed to represent different girl group archetypes, and that if she just tries to act like her, that she's going to fade into the background. Dejanay is taken aback by Clarabelle's tough criticism, but realizes that she means well for her, and tries to give her choreography a bit more uniqueness as their rehearsal time dwindles.
I'm really trying to be patient with Dejanay, but she's starting to rely on me a little too much. I know that we have a fairly big scene together, and if we all give a little bit of our own flair in our roles, I know that we can do extremely well. But if Dejanay doesn't own her star power soon, she's going to pay the price for it, and I know that she can't ask me for advice while she's lip-syncing for her life. I can only hope our little talk got through to her, or else we're going to be screwed.
I don't get why Clarabelle's trying to stop me from taking pointers from her. This is like the one moment in my life where I get to learn from one of the best queens ever. I think she's just worried that I'm going to do better than her, and I totally get it. It's hard for the newer queens to start to overtake the older ones. I don't think she's being a major drama queen, but she certainly is starting to get a little upset. Maybe I should back off and try to just eyeball what she's doing so she won't notice.
Meanwhile, Orange Blossom and Ghastly are working on their scene together with Flannery, which is gearing up to be one of the funniest moments in the Rusical. By playing the straight men to Flannery's wild and boisterous character, the three queens struggle to keep straight faces while they're rehearsing, and have to take a few moments to calm themselves down with their laughter. Flannery is enjoying working with the two hosts, and is thinking that they're going to be the top 3 of the week. Ghastly says that she hopes so, since she really needs to bounce back after the previous week's poor performance. Orange Blossom reassures them all that with a great presentation on the main stage, they're bound for greatness.
I can safely say that with the way things are going, we are the winners of Toonovision. I never thought that Orange Blossom and Dr. Ghastly would be that funny together, but we're bouncing off of each other so well that I think we're going to be the top 3 of the week super easily. I feel like we finally unlocked that secret combination of humor and talent that's really hard to find the right balance of, but somehow, we're making it happen. The judges are going to flip when they see us in action.
Both Reggie and Yasmin are working on their scenes together. Yasmin is trying her best to get the characterization just right, and is doing her best to work with Reggie on their performance. Reggie can tell Yasmin is trying extremely hard to work well with her, and tells her that she's really excited they're working well together, since she originally thought that Yasmin was going to be difficult to work with when she first met her. Yasmin is taken aback by Reggie's backhanded compliment, and her face turns red again, causing her to look down at her script and scan it over in silence. Reggie backs away, worried she might have said something to upset her scene partner, and goes off to talk with someone else while Yasmin decompresses.
Yasmin's awfully standoffish lately. I'm worried that I said something to make her upset, but she's always kind of high-strung. I just hope that I can do well without her getting upset about everything. It's my time to shine, and I should not let her bad attitude get to me. Besides, she's starting to burn her bridges with everyone here since last week's tantrum about not being in the top, and I'm starting to get really fed up with her. Just because you call yourself a princess doesn't mean you need to act as spoiled as one.
Everyone here has been discounting my talent and my emotions all because I'm just a little more outspoken than everybody else. I'm sorry that I know I'm on another level. I've been working too long and too hard to expect anything less out of myself. But when other girls assume that I'm being too arrogant, all that I have to say is that you're playing with fire. Jade, Chloe, Sasha, and I are all too professional to be kept down by any of this bullshit the queens want to throw in my face, and mark my words, I'm going to prove exactly how great I am on that main stage, one way or another.
Cover girl. Do that fierce penguin walk. You're a flop, but you still talk that talk. And what? Welcome to the main stage of Drag Race Toontown. Let's meet our judges. First, our resident panelists, my best friends, they're Monique and Ron Stoppable. And our guest judge, one of the most tantalizing pop stars who's rising up the charts with his new album, from Dimsdale, it's Chip Skylark. This week, our queens are ready to give it their all in the show-stopping rendition of Toonovision, the Rusical, where they're all vying to get our 12 points for the week. And on the runway, category is Fly Your Freak Flag. Racers, start your engines and may the best cartoon win.
Category is
Ghastly, Libby, and Orange Blossom had a great performance. Reggie and Flannery had a good performance.
Of course, I knew that I did really well. The fact that I had one of the main roles definitely helped to push me into the spotlight, and I know that I didn't disappoint. I don't want to celebrate my win too soon, though. I'm not as confident as a certain Bratz doll is in the competition. No tea, no shade, girl, but I saw her scene with Reggie, and she was definitely a little too pissed off, even for a villain role in a Rusical.
Celebi, Clarabelle, and Taurus had a bad performance. Dejanay, Sam, and Yasmin flopped the challenge.
Our girl group was a hot mess. Poor Clarabelle and I had to scramble to keep up with Dejanay's antics. It was like playing a game of Simon Says. For wanting to be in Clarabelle's shadow, she certainly did a good job of not trying to fit in. Seriously, would you have taken a spot in a girl group if you knew it was going to be that disjointed? Well, would you? I can only hope my runway is going to keep me out of the bottom, although I'd hate to see my good Judy Sam fall into it for failing to hit those notes properly. It was definitely an interesting performance, to say the least. I love you, Sam, but that wasn't it.
Reggie, Clarabelle, Celebi, Taurus, and Sam had a great runway.
Girl, I know that my runway cleared tonight. I know the judges expected me to be this polished pageant queen all the time, but I can get freaky with the rest of them. I know this is exactly what I needed to bounce back from last week, and I think that I might get myself some brownie points. I know how much Kim loves a comeback story, so maybe this might work out in my favor.
Orange Blossom, Ghastly, and Flannery had a good runway. Libby, Dejanay, and Yasmin had a bad runway.
In spite of everything that had happened this week, I managed to do pretty darn well. I wish that I could say the same for Yasmin, but once I made that comment, it was like a switch flipped in her mind that just made her extremely uncooperative. I just wanted her to be a little more of a team player, so that maybe, just maybe, we could have had a bit more of a stronger scene together. I wish I could undo what I said to her, but she has nobody else to blame but herself. Sorry, Yas.
Ladies, well done on a great Rusical. Just like every Eurovision Song Contest, some of you were instant classics, while others will go down in the history books for all the wrong reasons. I've made some decisions. When I call your name, please step forward. Sam. Orange Blossom. Yasmin. Dr. Ghastly. Dejanay Jones. Libby Fulfax. Ladies, you gave us performances to remember, both good and bad. You six are the tops and bottoms of the week. That means that Reggie Rocket, Flannery, Clarabelle Cow, Celebi, and Taurus, you five are all safe and may leave the stage.
You don't understand how lucky I feel right now. So lucky. I thought I had gotten through to Dejanay about being herself, but I guess it just didn't register. I seriously don't want these girls to think that I'm the end-all be-all of drag knowledge just because I'm an icon in the scene. Maybe I should set the record straight with some of the girls later on once we have a moment, and I especially want to let Miss Dejanay know my true feelings before it's too late.
Libby Fulfax, your performance as Doreen gave us euphoria, but your runway was more reminiscent of dysphoria. Still, great job this week. You're safe.
Ouch, that last comment stung a little. I didn't realize my runway had basically taken me out of the running for the win. I should have known better than to have Cindy design some of my looks back home. That girl is such a klutz. But I'm not gonna let that break my stride. I've cemented myself as the queen to beat so far, and I plan on taking that all the way to the end. I plan on making sure these girls know just who Libby Fulfax is once this is all over.
Orange Blossom, Dr. Ghastly, both of you are the highlights of our song contest. After all, what's a great show without fantastic hosts? But there can only be one winner this week. Dr. Ghastly, congratulations, you're the winner of this week's challenge.
This is the best possible thing that could have happened after the stumble I had during the talent show. I'm feeling much more confident in myself. and these girls must know that I mean it when I say I plan on taking over the world of drag. I wouldn't call this a miracle, but it sure is pretty darn close to one. Thank you so much, Kim.
Orange Blossom, very good job this week, you're safe.
I'm really happy that Ghastly and I both did really well. If I didn't win, I'm just really glad that she did. She may talk about being evil and wanting to plot to take over the world, but she's actually really sweet once you get to know her. I guess she isn't so bad after all. Maybe I ought to invite her back home for a show or two with my besties and see how she likes it. It might be a bit too far off of her aesthetic, but hey, she deserves a fun little trip away from home. I'd be happy to consider her my friend after this whole competition is over.
Yasmin, your character's villainous downfall sadly seemed to infect your performance as well. And on the runway, you pushed the limits of poor taste. I'm sorry, my dear, but you were up for elimination. Dijane, your girl group performance was a hurricane of confusing choices, and on the runway tonight, you were reminiscent of a great Eurovision star. Barbara Dex. I'm sorry, my dear, but you were up for elimination. Sam, while your Rusical performance was definitely not the favorite of this jury, your runway scored you enough points to keep you away from the bottom of the leaderboard. Try not to disappoint next week. You're safe.
I am just really thankful that I do not have to lip sync for my life this week. After how shaken up I was during critiques, the last thing I needed was to be told, "You suck at performing, now perform again to save your spot in the competition." Do people not see how nerve-wracking that can be? Alex couldn't even survive a lip sync on her season, so I really don't want to have to lip sync until I make it to the very end of this whole thing. Maybe I ought to see if I can take a few quick vocal lessons, just in case I make it all the way to the remix. It's only a matter of time until the field thins out enough to compete for the crown, and I plan on going all the way to the end.
Two queens stand before me. Ladies, prior to tonight, you were asked to prepare a lip-sync performance to Rockefeller Street by Getter Yanni. This is your last chance to impress me and save yourself from elimination. The time has come for you to lip-sync for your life.
If the judges think that I'm a bitch, and everyone here thinks I am too, then I just need to channel that energy into a sickening performance. This is the one thing that I know I can finally succeed at, and the judges will have no choice but to finally give me the flowers that I know I deserve. Dijane, sweetie, you better be begging for mercy once I'm done with you. Officially.
Having to send home one of my sisters is one of the hardest things I'll have to do. Is what I would say if I actually liked her. Nah girl, she got me wired up. It's finally time to give a performance that'll make Kim, Clarabelle, and all of the other girls proud of me. Bring it on, you bratty bitch.
Good luck, and don't fuck it up. Dijane had a bad lip sync. Yasmin flopped the lip sync. Ladies, I've made my decision. And sadly, this was a very easy decision to make. I've seen many a bad lip sync over the past few seasons, and I don't want us to be building up to another pocketful of sunshine moment in this season's finale. So, ladies, I'm sorry, but it's time for Drag Race Toontown to get real. Dijane Jones, Yasmin, I'm sorry, my dears, but neither one of you survived that lip sync.
Oh my god.
No way.
Sorry, I got bored. What's going on?
I know this may be heartbreaking to hear, but I urge you to keep moving. Life keeps marching on, for both of you. Now, Yasmin, Dijane, I must ask the two of you to sashay away.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Bye.
Thank you for the opportunity, Kim. I hope it isn't too early to consider all stars, I'm just saying.
It was so obvious that I wasn't going to even stand a chance once I didn't win that first week. I performed better than most of those girls could in a show in their life. I've been putting in the work back home to get here after Jade managed to slay the world and show what the Bratz girls were made of, and this is the reception I get? Don't talk to me anymore. I'm going back to my hotel room and waiting for my ride home. Cool cat, I hope you didn't book too many shows without me, because I'm ready to get back to work.
That wasn't the way I planned for things to go. Maybe Clarabelle was right. I was relying so heavily on her that I failed to even give myself the space I needed to do well in the competition, and now I'm paying the price for it. I feel like I didn't really get to show everything that I was capable of, and I feel like I was able to go all the way to the end. But now, I guess I'll never know. LPDZ, get ready to put some hustle in your bustle, ladies. We're going to have to work twice as hard now once I get back. And better believe I'll be whipping us into shape as the fiercest drag house Emilyville's ever seen.
My queens, I know this was a shocking decision, but I hope that lights the fire under you that I know will push you to do the best you can in this competition. I mean business this season, as I know you are all extremely talented queens. One wrong misstep could cost you the crown this season, so you need to make sure to give it everything you've got at every single opportunity, or else I won't hesitate to do another double sachet. With that out of the way, girls, congratulations on surviving another week. Remember that with the power of drag, nothing is ever impossible. Now go backstage and untuck. I think it's long overdue.
This is Untucked.
When the queens go into the Silver Lounge, the atmosphere is extremely quiet after the fallout of Dejanay and Yasmin's elimination. Orange Blossom begins crying, saying that she wishes it didn't have to be like this, and that she didn't want Dejanay to go home this soon. As Libby goes over to wipe away her tears, she tries to lighten the mood and jokes that Orange Blossom wouldn't have minded if Yasmin had stayed too. Orange Blossom stifles a laugh, and the mood in the room starts to improve a bit after Libby cuts the tension. Meanwhile, Clarabelle pulls Taurus and Sam into the gold bar, telling the queens that she was very saddened that Dejanay ended up getting eliminated, and told the queens that, while she knows she's looked up to in the community, she just wants to be treated like any other queen in this competition instead of being put on a pedestal. She goes on, mentioning that she's not going to brag about her accomplishments, or claim to be the Sasha Colby of drag, because she knows that that's just going to backfire on her if she fails to deliver. Sam and Taurus both understand, and make sure to let the other queens know when they get a chance. Clarabelle gives the two newly formed drag sisters a hug, and walks back to the Silver Lounge to partake in some more lighthearted conversation with the remaining contestants.
Hey, squirrel friend. When one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support you.
Your heart-to-heart talks with the queens are so sweet, they might be giving me a cavity. And you know how damaging that is to my brand. See you in court, bitch.